Google joins 14 other DSPs that are integrated with WideOrbit, and essentially will connect the $7 billion of programmatic digital video spend back into linear TV. And so we're super excited. I think for the industry, this is a great moment. A lot of the ad tech innovation was fueled by the demise of TV, and so it's kind of ironic that after all these 10 years of demise, you have these companies now integrated with TV instead of waiting to replace it. So we're super excited.
So tell us a little bit more about the way this thing will work.
So the first thing to clarify, this is not Google TV's second coming. Google is not competing with us as the DoubleClick layer. They are bringing demand, so all the agencies and brands that use DoubleClick Bid Manager will be able to bid on inventory in the marketplace. It's over 600 stations. We have the top 50 DMAs, 106 million households, and it really just brings another set of advertisers, another set of demand into the marketplace for our local broadcast customers.
So explain a little bit about WideOrbit and what you do with the local stations, the supply side, if you will.
So the best way to think about WideOrbit is DoubleClick for publishers. They call it a traffic system. It's really the pub ad server. It's a system that a TV station uses right there in their office to book their orders, to do the ad decisioning, to do their billing and invoicing, to manage their creatives or materials. And so while the company was founded in 1999 for marketplace, our CEO realized he had to normalize the systems underneath it. And so it was a 15-year pivot. But finally we have the footprint and to create this scaled marketplace. And so you have the DFP layer. And then we've recently, in the last 3 years, the reason I joined WideOrbit is to build the marketplace layer. Okay, and then we also have our own buyer console, just like a DoubleClick Bid Manager, and then we've integrated obviously some linear agencies and all the digital demand.
So tell us about the supply side of the available inventory. We hear from some people that the local stations are so profitable they sell everything out, but what is it that you guys have? Is it, how do you characterize the inventory that you have? I mean, if you can.
No, totally. So the first thing is, since we're the DFP, we do not require the stations to give us any inventory. We're just a software layer. So let's say if somebody sits in DoubleClick and says, I want to advertise on this TV station, I'm willing to pay this much, your offer shows up in the same software that they would see an offer from the Ford dealership that just called them. And so they could just really easily look at your programmatic offer and look at the other demand they have and make a decision to take your offer. It's really no different. There's no carve out. There's no second-class citizen. It's all demand in one holistic view. And I go, I want the programmatic. I'll take my direct sell. I want this programmatic. So it's really seamless. We have the full schedule. And just to drive home the point, only 1% of our buys is in overnights. And that's very different from other vendors you see that have to say, give me your inventory, let me put it in the database, and then I'll show it to other people as programmatic. We're not that.
Okay, cool. And we've been speaking to a lot of people here during NAB about the emergence, the power, the influence of local TV stations, which is not always the sexy topic, but speaking to particularly the data people and the companies that are driving decisioning, it's kind of a big deal. So why is local big, or has it always been big?
No, I think it's always been big. It had some challenges in the currency side. I was in a panel with Frank Comerford from NBCU, and my first question is, explain to people why local TV is so great. Why do people want to buy it? Obviously for political, it's the most valuable medium. It also is local, so it matters to people. I think Mark Zuckerberg said once that people care more about a squirrel in their backyard as some starving war or whatever miles away. And that has that local aspect. So it's relevant to me. It's my weather, it's my everything, it's my news. And it has been difficult to buy, because if you wanted to buy local from a national point of view, it's a lot of faxes, a lot of back and forth. And so it was right for somebody to just come in and stitch it together and make it as easy to buy as buying a video on YouTube.
Great, and what's next for WideOrbit? What's next for you guys?
Yeah, so we have, again, the 15-year pivot to build the DFP. Now we have the marketplace. We've integrated the DSP so we can get digital demand back into TV, which I think is great. We're working on a product we just announced, I think a week ago, for traditional agencies. Basically saying, let's pretend a startup came out of nowhere today and said, hey, we're going to build a new spot buying platform. Knowing what we've learned in digital, what would that look like? And so we've built that and we're testing that with some agencies and they're so excited to see innovation, visualization, machine learning, these things that we take for granted in digital, they've never seen. And so I'm super excited about that. And so we're continuing to build a stack. Our goal is to connect buyers and sellers as seamlessly as possible.